The issue of homelessness in California is one of the most visible and complex socioeconomic crises in modern American history. Despite being the wealthiest state in the United States and boasting the world's fifth largest economy, California grapples with an overwhelmingly disproportionate share of the nation's unhoused population. From the sprawling tent cities of Los Angeles' Skid Row to the encampments lining the streets of San Francisco and Sacramento, the crisis presents severe human, economic, and political challenges. The scale of the crisis. According to recent federal and state data, California is home to nearly 30% of all individuals experiencing homelessness in the United States. Despite making up only about 12% of the total U.S. population. Even more striking is that California has the highest rate of unsheltered homelessness in the country. Roughly 2/3 of unhoused Californians live on the streets, in cars, or in makeshift tents, rather than in temporary shelters or transitional housing. Contrary to the popular misconception that unhoused individuals migrate to California for its mild weather or social benefits, studies show a different reality. 90% of homeless adults in California lost their housing while already living in the state, and 75% continue to reside in the exact same county where they last had a home. Root causes. Why California? The narrative surrounding homelessness often focuses strictly on individual failures, such as mental illness or substance abuse. While these are critical complicating factors, structural and systemic economic issues drive the crisis at its core. 1. The affordable housing deficit. The absolute primary driver of homelessness in California is the astronomical cost of housing. Decades of strict local zoning laws, environmental regulations, and NIMBYism, not in my backyard sentiment, have stifled new housing construction. When supply cannot keep up with demand, prices skyrocket. For low-wage workers, a modest apartment is completely out of financial reach, forcing extremely low-income households to spend upwards of 50% of their income just to keep a roof over their heads, leaving them one emergency away from the streets. 2. The income-rent disconnect. While California has generated massive wealth, particularly in the technology and entertainment sectors, wage growth for working-class citizens has completely decoupled from rent increases. A person earning minimum wage would need to work multiple full-time jobs just to afford a standard two-bedroom apartment in major metropolitan areas like Los Angeles, San Diego, or San Francisco. 3. Systemic healthcare barriers. Physical disabilities, untreated chronic illnesses, and behavioral health issues frequently precipitate housing loss. Once an individual ends up on the street, the immense trauma, sleep deprivation, and lack of safety rapidly exacerbate pre-existing depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, or substance dependency, turning a temporary economic crisis into chronic, long-term homelessness. From housing first to criminalization. For a long time, the state prioritized the housing first model. The philosophy that a person must have stable housing before they can effectively tackle addiction or mental health issues. Programs like Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass's Inside Safe initiative have successfully moved thousands of people from tents into converted motels. However, Public frustration over safety and sidewalk access has caused a sharp political pivot. Recent judicial rulings and executive orders have empowered cities to take a tougher stance, allowing local governments to dismantle encampments, issue citations, or arrest individuals for camping in public spaces, even when alternative shelter space is not readily available. Critics argue this simply pushes the problem from one neighborhood to the next without resolving the core issue. To truly understand the reality of homelessness in California, one has to look closely at the city streets. The sidewalks, underpasses, and urban corridors of major metropolitan areas serve as the physical stage where this humanitarian crisis unfolds daily. The landscape of the sidewalks. Unlike many eastern U.S. cities where the unhoused population is largely tucked away in massive indoor municipal shelter systems, California's crisis is overwhelmingly unsheltered. Streets, parks, and riverbeds function as makeshift residential neighborhoods out of sheer necessity. Walking down heavily affected corridors, such as parts of Skid Row in Los Angeles, the Tenderloin in San Francisco, or the parkways along the American River in Sacramento, reveals a highly organized yet precarious ecosystem. Tent communities. Stretches of sidewalks are lined with nylon camping tents, often reinforced with blue plastic tarps to protect against rain or intense heat. Vehicular homelessness. Beyond tents, thousands of Californians live out of parked cars, deteriorating recreational vehicles, RVs, and camper vans lining industrial streets. These vehicles offer a lockable door and a small sense of security, but residents face constant ticketing, towing threats, and a lack of waste disposal infrastructure. The survival economy. Street life has its own internal economy. Sidewalk spaces are meticulously negotiated among residents. Nearby businesses frequently lock their outdoor water spigots and electrical outlets. When discussing the intersection of streets and homelessness, we are talking about the literal epicenter of the crisis. On the pavement, the abstract statistics about housing supply and economic inequality turn into a daily reality of human survival, public friction, and evolving legal battles. The dynamics of street homelessness have undergone massive changes, shifting away from long-term, semi-permanent sidewalk communities toward a highly contested game of displacement and forced relocation. The reality of street communities. For years, certain urban corridors across the United States, most notably in major California metropolitan areas, developed deeply entrenched sidewalk ecosystems. Historically, these camps were not just random clusters of tents. They functioned as highly organized, self-governing micro-neighborhoods. Unhoused residents banded together for mutual protection against street violence, shared resources like food and water, and established internal rules to keep peace. However, because these encampments occupied public sidewalks, parks, and highway underpasses, they created severe tension with local housed residents and businesses over issues of public health, accessibility, and open-air drug use. The turning point, the Great Enforcement Spike. The fundamental nature of street homelessness changed following the landmark U.S. Supreme Court ruling in Grants Pass v. Johnson.